This is Gospel Music Today. We are at the National Quartet Convention, and I am talking to Lance Moore of Paid in Full. And Lance, welcome to Gospel Music Today.
Thank you so much. So good to be here, Ken. Thank you.
It's nice to have you on the program. Now, how did you become involved in Southern gospel singing?
Well, I tell you what, it started way back. I guess we're going on 18 years. This will be, August was 18 years. So in high school, Jeff Cruz and Bradley Littlejohn got together and said they want to start Southern Gospel Trio. I didn't really know Southern Gospel. I was 14 at the time. And so we gathered around the piano. Bradley's mom played piano. So our church on the third floor had an old stand-up piano, an old upright, and we got on there, and I think we're Rock of Ages, worked it out. And we found out that harmony was actually kind of fun. So we took it from there and sang in area churches, and then decided to go to college. And we said, well, we'll just have a farewell concert. That was fun, had a good run. And they were a year ahead of me, so when they went to college, it sparked, and we sang more than ever. And then, of course, Jake Hess came along, and we met him, and there was a good friendship there. And God's just, we feel called to do it, and God's just kept us going all these years. So.
Now, tell me, I wanted to ask you that, because tell me the Jake Hess connection.
It's kind of surreal just how you think about it. Bradley and Jeff were in their dorm room. I guess it was their freshman or sophomore year, and there was a message on the answer machine. It said, guys, this is Jake Hess, and I want to meet you guys and sing with you. We're like, no connection whatsoever. But Jake was going to a hospital visit with a good friend of his who was from our hometown, and then she had our CD in there, our very first CD that we had done. And he liked what he heard, so he came to Tupelo. We sang on a great concert. I'll never forget it in Tupelo, Mississippi. And he got in touch with Gaither, got us on a Gaither video. I don't think that one didn't come out, but we were involved with it. Did some local Tupelo, Jackson area Gaither concerts, and just went with Jake. I think one time we went to Pennsylvania with Jake, took a whole week and back, and I'll never forget it. It was great.
That is great, and I'm not a wonderful story that I'm not too surprised to hear. Of course, we don't know Jake Hess personally, but when we would go to the Gaither concerts, I remember that he would always sit out there beside the stage for almost the whole concert and watch everything. I think he was a real gospel music fan, not just a singer.
That's right. He was what you call the genuine article. I mean, you hear about that, and you see people in that spotlight and at that level, and you're thinking, there's no way that you can relate to that. But he was as personable. We played cards on the bus. We'd just hang out and talk, and just as down to earth as anybody, but as interested in younger artists and seeing them succeed as anyone. He was totally behind us, and just having that being under his wing like that was just great.
Now, I want to know a little bit about Paid in Full. Where's the home base for you guys?
We're out of New Albany, Mississippi. That's about 20 miles from Tupelo, Mississippi, in the northeast part. So we're not far from Memphis, not far from Tupelo. But not a big town at all, but no place I'd rather be.
Yeah. And how much do you travel?
We are traveling. This year was a little slower than most, but I would say in general 100 dates or so a year. Definitely on the weekends and conventions and other stuff like that. But busy as we'd like to be, I think.
And tell me a little bit about the other guys.
Well, you got Bradley Littlejohn. Of course, he'd been with the group for 18 years on baritone. And then Jeff Cruz was with us for 15 years, and he had another second child at home and decided, he just wanted to devote more time there. And so we understood that, we don't want to, we understood it on both sides. So he left 2 years ago, and we didn't know. Of course, 15 years, and that's all we knew. We knew 3 kids from church that were singing in a group, so we were like, personnel change. We did not anticipate that. So we called everybody from Nashville to North Carolina to everywhere, and we're like, what are we going to do? We don't know. And Bradley's cousin at home said, well, I go to college with a guy, and he sang with his family his whole life, and he loves, Southern gospel. Okay. So we tried him out and let him fill in for Jeff, and he hit it. Brock White's his name, and he's a mile from my house.
Great.
So the Lord knows. I mean, so much time we worry about things and how things are going to happen, but God knows.
Yeah.
So He worked it all out.
Because you're not just looking for a singer, you're looking for somebody that can handle the road.
That's totally right. I mean, because, like I said, 3 guys who grew up together. We cut up together. There was never an argument, really. We were like brothers. We knew when to say, back off, or there was no arguing anything. So, like, bring another guy into the mix, how's it going to work? But Brock, we're all children anyway at heart, so we all cut up just the same as we always have.
Great. Have you been recording?
We have. We just released at convention this week a brand new album called No Trace of Rain with Soundgarden music. I think it's been about a year in the making, and you always say I'm excited about the new album. I love this album, and you always say that, but we're especially fond of this album because this is the first time we've ever attempted writing. I wrote 2 songs. Bradley co-wrote with Diane Wilkinson, who also wrote We Shall See Jesus and all the great ones. So he co-wrote with her, and Bradley and I wrote a song called This Is the Day together. So we're excited about having that. A lot of new, really same style as Paid in Full, but some really great new songs. So we're really excited about getting that to radio and make that happen.
That's excellent. We got to hear you the other night, and that's a great sound.
Thank you. We did sing possibly the single, and maybe when this airs it might be out, a song called that Patty Hawkins, who wrote What the Storm Does Not Know, which was really a good song for us, and she wrote Let the Truth Be Told. And we're getting feedback on our website about the songs right now at paidinfull.net to see what people like. Before we release it, we're going to kind of see what people think about them, and that's kind of up at the top of the deal. And when you think about it, it's a great sounding song. We love it. It's like an anthem. It drives. But the message in it, to let the truth be told, these days with everything going on in the world, it's just spot on. So we're glad she let us sing that one.
Yeah. Give me that Paid in Full website again.
All right, that's paidinfull.net. Paidinfull.net, and you can find out all about us and listen to the new music.
Okay. Lance, thank you very much for talking to us on Gospel Music Today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for what you're doing.
There's more coming up on Gospel Music Today.